been an interesting day. So we're supposed to be in the Outer Banks right now, but there's a tropical storm on its way, and the island, Hatteras Island, evacuated all visitors starting at noon today. So we scrambled to try and find some alternative plans, which we have done, and we're now on the way to Myrtle Beach, so should be interesting.
As we kept updating ourselves with the most current forecast, we realized we weren't quite out of the woods just yet.
So we've started to see some storm surge. So right now, basically, it's low tide. It looks like high tide. Things are ramping up a little bit, but the storm surge is not quite where it is supposedly going to be. It just started raining and the winds picked up a little bit, but it's not that crazy. There's people bicycling on the beach. Not really sure how that's working out. Yeah, I think maybe they should turn around. Welcome back to another live session. I don't know what time it is. What time is it? 6:50. So the eye is just east of Charleston, which is a little ways away yet. But as you can see, the surf is pretty rough. It is raining. The winds have definitely picked up. People were just swimming in the ocean, which is mind-blowing. We're expecting tropical storm force and hurricane force winds tonight. My hair looks really terrible, I know. So we are in North Myrtle Beach. The storm is expected to make landfall somewhere near us, probably a little north of us towards Wilmington, North Carolina, but we'll see. The rain is really starting to pick up, and people are still trying to swim in the ocean. We are live with rapidly deteriorating conditions. Actually, I mean, it is getting a little worse, but so we are just outside of the eye of Hurricane Isaias.
It is deteriorating. My wine's almost empty. That is deteriorating
Conditions are deteriorating inside. We're gonna get some of the effects from the eye wall coming shortly, but as you can see, the ocean, the storm surge has really come up and has started to reach the dunes, if not breached. This is absolutely nuts. It is crazy how quickly things can go downhill, and storm surge is a real thing. You can't see anything, it's dark, but we're in the eye wall of the hurricane. We survived! We made it through our very first hurricane.
Just a tiny one, to be fair. But
it was a category 1.
It was a category 1, but still a hurricane. Became a hurricane right before landfall, so
yes,
that still counts.
So speaking of, the footage that you saw was from a Facebook Live that we did. We didn't end up using our camera that we're filming on now because the humidity is next level.
Yeah, it was strange. There was just, we couldn't keep the lens from fogging up. If anybody has any ideas or tips to how to do that, that would be great, because I mean, we couldn't film with the camera. The drone,
We couldn't fly the drone.
Couldn't fly the drone because we were 4.4 miles away from the airport, and you can't fly it within 5 miles, so the drone wouldn't even leave the ground. So
no.
This ended up being very different than what it should have been.
Yes, it ended up being a very different vlog. We had plans to stay in a house in the Outer Banks, and we experienced a mandatory evacuation. We couldn't get on the island of Hatteras. So we ended up scrambling in a department store parking lot and figuring out plans for the next week. So
yeah, it was some friends of ours that we were with, John and Aaron, had stayed in Myrtle Beach 3 years prior, and decided to just randomly call the place that they had stayed at. Turns out they had an opening. Gave them the credit card, and next thing you know, we were on our way to Myrtle Beach with a cookout stop on the way.
If you haven't been to Cookout, you gotta go. It's awesome.
Definitely need to go to Cookout.
So the point to this is you have to be, when you're traveling, if you travel often enough, these things will happen, even if you don't travel that often. But you have to be open and willing to change plans at the very last minute, whether it's an entire vacation or a weekend or just a small aspect of your trip. You have to be open and willing to do that, because that is part of traveling.
And it doesn't mean you can't be disappointed, because we were certainly disappointed, because we had this perfect week planned out. Private pool, we wanted to get some great drone shots of, just the land of the Outer Banks and how narrow it actually is. And we just had some really cool things planned with really great friends that have become family. And so we still had a great time. It was a very different vacation, very relaxing, a lot of floating around the pool, a lot of sitting on the beach, but that's okay.
And because of the current situation in the world right now, we didn't really do any indoor dining. We did a lot of takeout and outdoor stuff, if you will. So we didn't really feel like we got the experience that Myrtle Beach has to offer.
It's true.
Although I will say that there are 2 attractions that if you are in Myrtle Beach, you may want to check out. One of them is Broadway, and the other one is Barefoot Landing. Broadway is a little more touristy, if that's what you're into. It has more of the chain type restaurants.
Yeah, we enjoyed Barefoot Landing a lot more.
We did.
It had the more of a small town feel to it.
Yeah, local businesses.
I felt like a lot more local businesses, and which is kind of what we like. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so we still ended up having a great time, and like I said, you've got to be open and willing to change plans at the drop of a hat, because you never know, Mother Nature has other plans for you.
Yeah, she definitely had other plans for us, but it's okay. We had a great time.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned.
Smash that subscribe button. Smash it.
So stay tuned for our next video or series. I'm not sure what it'll be, but we are planning on traveling to upstate New York in September, so that should be fun. Hopefully we'll be able to fly the drone and there won't be a hurricane.
If we get a hurricane in upstate New York in September, big hurricane.
It's also 2020.
Nell reporting live from North Myrtle Beach. I've always wanted to say that.
We are standing in the epicenter